Are you a puppet builder that's tired of spending hours searching on the internet for free puppet patterns, or going to online stores and spending enormous amounts of money for patterns that don't quite fit what you're looking for? Well, if this sounds like you, relax, because in today's video, I'm going to show you how to go from this to this. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Charles Prouty and I am a professional part-time puppet builder. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to create your very own puppet head pattern starting from a clay sculpt. Now this video does not show you how to sculpt, and I left that out because, well, let's face it, we've all been playing with Play-Doh since we were 3 years old and we're not doing anything fancy. All we're doing is taking a piece of clay, sculpting it into a general shape that we're looking for, and then we're going to create a pattern from it. Things to keep in mind are, first off, keep it simple. We want no details sculpted in this clay. This clay sculpture is not a work of art. It's not a Michelangelo. There's nothing fancy about it. But what it is the general overall shape of the head that I wanted to achieve for my puppet. Second off, no details. Details come later on in the building process, okay? We're going to add those later. We want to keep this as generic as possible. And thirdly, I'm going to recommend using plasticine clay. It doesn't have quite as many oils in it, and the tape does tend to stick to it a little bit better. It never dries out. I've had this clay for 10 years, and it works wonderful. If you find this content interesting, I'd like to invite you to hit the subscribe, like, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. So with no further ado, let's get started in the video. As you can see, I have my basic clay head sculpted, and I'm getting ready to start adding tape. Right here you see me adding small pieces of tape to cover the clay head. Keep in mind that tape won't readily stick to the clay. I'm using plasticine clay. It has fewer oils in it, but in general clay has a lot of oils and adhesives don't like to stick to it. So you gotta kind of work with it a little bit. So to fix this problem, you can see I'm overlapping the tape generously. I'm smoothing, adding pieces, smoothing them out, adding more pieces on top, and making sure to overlap. We're going to continue this process until the clay head is covered, working in small sections with small pieces of tape, little by little. Ultimately, I'm going to do between 4 and 6 layers of tape. See here, I'm working my way around the head. I've got the top and the sides pretty covered. Now I'm starting to work on the bottom. or 5 layers of tape. I'm going to use my marker, and I'm going to mark my center line all the way around the head. I apologize for this being off camera. I'm a puppet builder, not a videographer, but I'm getting better. There we go. Now you can see it. Now you can see my center line. I'm going to just kind of give it the once over with the eye. You can see it's a little crooked here. So I'm going to go back in and just straighten it out. Now I'm trying to decide where I want to put my cuts at for my head pattern. Here, I'm just marking the mouth. Now I'm going to separate the front from the back, starting at the high point of the head. I'm going to bring it down to the side of the head. Using my X-Acto blade to cut out my pattern pieces. Please be very careful. X-Acto blades are very, very sharp. Watch your fingers. Now that I have that piece cut, I'm going to remove my first pattern piece. And there's my first pattern piece. And I'm going to continue removing the pieces, cutting very carefully and slowly and making every cut intentional, making sure to keep my fingers out of the way. And we're going to continue this process until all of our pieces have been cut out. is our upper mouth plate piece. As you can see, I've added enough layers of tape that when I remove them, they retain their shape. And this is what we want because this is what's going to help us determine where our darts go. I actually decided that I wanted to separate that lower jaw from the back half of the head. I made this decision because I think it would be easier in the end when it's time to assemble the puppet. Now it's time to add the darts. I'm starting in the corner with a very small pair of scissors, making small snips to the high point of the curves. This is going to allow us to lay the pieces flat for transferring to paper. You can see how nice and flat that piece will lay, make it very easy to trace. Now we're going to take our pattern pieces and we're going to trace them onto some paper. I'm using pencils so I can go back in afterwards and clean these pieces up. Don't forget to transfer your alignment points. Here's my cleanup process. These little bottom corners need to be a nice sharp angle. I'm labeling my piece. I'm marking the side of the pattern that goes towards the front. For scaling purposes, I'm going to add a 1-inch box. This box is exactly 1 inch on all 4 sides, but I'm going to label it 2 inches. So we'll know that our pattern is the correct size when we print it. That box will be 2 inches. Now I'm making sure to transfer my alignment points to the inside of the pattern. This pattern's going to be cut out. If you cut off your alignment pieces, you won't have them anymore. So bring them to the inside of the pattern. We're going to continue this process through all the pieces. Once they're cleaned up, I went and traced over my lines with the black Sharpie so that they're nice and crisp for photoing. simply use my iPhone and the Notes app, and in there under camera is a scan documents. You take a picture, it scans it, and then automatically creates a PDF. From there, I transferred that PDF to my computer. I used Adobe Acrobat, printed them out at 200%. Now that we've printed our pattern out, we can cut it. Notice when I'm cutting my pattern out, I'm cutting on the inside of the pattern or inside of the black line. That black line is thick. If you cut on the outside of it and include it in your pattern, it's going to make your pattern a little bit larger than what you need it. You shouldn't have any black lines left on your pattern except for the inside alignment points. Once all your pattern pieces are cut out, it's time to transfer them to foam and make a puppet. I hope you enjoyed that and found it informative. If you did, I invite you to hit the subscribe, like, and ring the bell for future videos. My next video is going to take off exactly where this one left off. We're going to take that pattern we made and create this puppet head, so you don't want to miss that. If you have any questions or wish to contact me, I invite you to join my Facebook group, Relax It's Just Foam. It's a small but growing puppet community made up of people with the love of the art of building puppets. On that group, I do frequent live streams of my current puppet builds. In fact, the video you just watched was edited down from a live stream that I did a few weeks ago. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in future videos.